October 7th. It's intensely personal, and they all look like people we know in our lives here in London. They're our friends, they're our brothers and sisters, they're our chanichim there.
There is a real growing sense of despair. It is not acceptable for Israelis and Palestinians to live the way that they are living through constant trauma and constant war. We do not have the luxury of giving up.
People have the same needs, the same desires to get on and live their lives and let their children live in peace. If people come to believe it's either us or them, it'll end up as neither us nor them.
Now is the time to step up and be counted, really.
We've seen this real sense of a kind of, this is a football pitch and there are teams that you support. So you can either be on the Palestinian team or you can be on the Israeli team, and actually you've got to pick a team and you've got to advocate for them. And I think that Yachad is one of the only voices that is active in the political sphere in this country and in the public sphere that is actually saying it is not a team or a side that you need to pick.
Okay, what do we need to be doing today so in 5 and 10 years from now we're in a different place?
Together we are saying we have empathy for Israelis and for Palestinians, definitely for every civilian, for the people who are paying the price of failed politicians. And we want others to see us working together and support this kind of work, because without it, we will never end this reality that we are living in.
The purpose of all of our work is to mobilise a much louder voice that will speak out in support of a political resolution to the conflict. So whether that is the MPs that we do briefings with in Parliament, that we take out to the region, rabbis that we work with, the students and young people in British Jewish youth movements that we're working with, all of that aims to mobilise a much louder voice from within our community and within our Parliament that will advocate for a political resolution.
Yachad's work in Parliament is really valuable to us as members of Parliament and to members of the House of Lords too, because they give us the detailed briefings that we really need.
There is other interpretation to what we see.
Expert detailed briefings on what's happening within Israel and the West Bank and Gaza, what's happening in Parliament and the Knesset, what's coming up that we need to be aware of. But the fact that they're constantly talking about a political solution against the odds is what is really impressive to me. Because amid all the darkness, and it is really dark right now, there's a deep trauma suffered by both sides, it's all the more important that you hold on to those glimmers of light.
We've now taken a number of parliamentary delegations to the region since October the 7th, and we recently returned from taking an MP's delegation and also a delegation of British rabbis. And we spent time in the south of Israel and also the West Bank, where the situation is extremely tense.
And using that to push out the Palestinians who are living here.
And the opportunity came to go with colleagues, of rabbis. It felt like, okay, here's a group I could go with, because it will be a container in which I can experience what I can experience, and there'll be people I can process it with an organisation like Yachad, who I feel a deep affinity with.
I wanted to see for myself what it was like, and also because since October the 7th, Israel has become a much bigger deal in my community, and it felt all of a sudden really important for me to go out and visit there, and Yachad is an organisation I trust.
I think there is nothing more powerful than giving people the opportunity to get out into the field and to actually meet people on the ground and talk to them about their experiences and see it with your own eyes. So there will be in border communities on the Gaza border that were attacked by Hamas on October the 7th, with hostage families, with official spokespeople of the Israeli government, and there'll also be deep in the West Bank with Palestinians who are experiencing extreme settler violence, in Ramallah meeting with the Palestinian Prime Minister and actually getting the widest possible understanding of the challenges that exist. And I don't actually think that there's any other organisation inside the Jewish community, but also working in Parliament today, that gives people that experience and that opportunity.
We've been on this really, really strong tour organised by Yachad. Really, it was to have a better understanding and bear witness and do a fact-finding tour so that when we debate these issues about what's happening here in terms of the Gaza-Israel war, is that we can speak with some authority and legitimacy about what we've seen and what we've heard.
Together with other members who are speaking today, I've just returned from a cross-party MP visit to Israel and the West Bank. The suffering we witnessed compels us to act, speak out, and to ensure that the rights of those who've long been marginalised are protected.
I've had the privilege of visiting with Yachad to the occupied Palestinian territories. Those visits enrich our understanding. They ensure that our debate in this place is informed not only by what we think we know, but by the lived experience, by having looked people in the eye whose day-to-day reality is the issues we discuss in this place.
My honourable friend, who is so committed to these issues, has been discussing them with me and others for many years, is right to highlight the important work of Yachad.
I've just returned from Israel and the West Bank, a trip organised by Yachad. The purpose of this debate is to draw attention to what is happening on the West Bank.
Yachad really is a cross-generational space and a cross-generational movement, and I think the importance of engaging MPs and rabbis is hugely significant. But I think engaging with young people is critical to what we do, because they are the future leaders of our community, and really it's about giving them the knowledge and the skills and the confidence to be activists within the Jewish community and beyond, using what they have learned to create change.
I'm really grateful to be able to be involved with Yachad, because it can feel really isolating and lonely to be a Jew with the kind of political opinions that I have. It can feel like there's no one around that wants to talk about it or do anything about it with me. But in Yachad, I feel like there's a part of the Jewish community that really makes sense to me and where I can be my full self. And that feels really rare in conversations about the conflict generally for me.
I think that now more than ever, what we need is a moderate space in the public arena that is advocating for political resolution to the conflict. And actually, if there are not organisations like Yachad that are filling that space, we are left with a void that will be filled by voices on both sides of this debate that don't really believe in the freedom, dignity and security of either Israelis and Palestinians. I think we have no choice other than to be hopeful. What we need to do is work harder than we've ever worked in a harsher environment than we've ever been in, but we cannot give up, because if we give up on the fight, then there is nothing left for the people in the region who are asking for our help, our support, and the support of the international community in bringing this conflict to an end.
Hope isn't about a feeling, hope is an action. And if you're feeling helpless or hopeless, get out and do something.
I do think we can have a two-state solution. It looks far away right now, but I really, really believe that work of people like Yachad can help promote that. One day we'll look back and say, at least they made a difference.